This morning, we are here to discuss the differentiated education plan, which is what your students are going to be following with everything that we're doing here at Valentine. Like I said, I am Lexi Landers, and my partner is Miss McMurray. She is on here as well, and she will chat with us in just a few moments. But today's meeting is to explore how the academic, social, and emotional needs of our gifted and advanced learners are met through the NEET framework. And we're going to review what the differentiated education plan is for second graders through fifth graders. So first, I want to talk about what Ms. McMurray and myself, what our essential roles are. So we are the people that are providing support and leadership throughout our building, both with our students and with our fellow teachers. We are working with our gifted and advanced learners within the classroom of their homeroom teachers, but we are also working with them in smaller groups. We are co-teaching with other teachers in the building. We are doing inclusive practices that are meeting the needs of our gifted and advanced learners. We're collaborating and planning with our teachers so that your students are not only receiving AIG services through Ms. McMurray and myself, but also through their classroom teachers. We are also providing ongoing professional development for all of our teachers as well in the building. And then we are leading the gifted identification and screening process for our students. So our second graders who just identified just went through all of the gifted identification and screening process so far. And we're going to talk about the NEET framework. Ms. McMurray is going to go into a little bit more detail about what the NEET framework is. Go ahead, Ms. McMurray. You're muted.
Unmute. Oh, there we go. Good morning, everybody. So the Advanced Studies Department has spruced up what we used to call the Catalyst model and turned it into the NEET framework. So if you take a look at the NEET framework, it is nurturing, enriching, acceleration for so students can thrive. And this is to meet the needs of our gifted population along with our advanced learners. This is a flexible, inclusive approach. So it's what a child needs at that time. If your child is gifted, identified gifted, and they are struggling with the classroom standard of adding decimals, and they might need a little extra support in that standard, then students will remain with their teacher, but then come back to our class when they have mastered that one standard. So it's definitely a flexible based on the needs of a student at that time in place. Our core components are collaboration with classroom teachers, our instruction and our planning using the AIG advanced resources that we'll be getting into in a little bit, our professional development, communication amongst all of our stakeholders, our principal, our parents, our classroom teachers, and our compliance piece. This is the big piece that we have to make sure we have all tasks completed due to the legislation that has been put into place for our department. So the AIG teacher builds capacity with our classroom teachers. We are working together as a team, and we are maximizing the learning. Ms. Landers, can you fix? Yep, thank you. We're maximizing learning among all students, the gifted and high achieving students, through the use of the resources, our common language that we have developed with the teachers. And again, going back to the needs, it is the needs of all students based on rigor and engagement. So Mrs. Landers and I, we build capacity with our teachers through collaborative planning sessions, which we attend. They have planning sessions at the end of the day. We attend one of those. Professional development, whether it's us heading to our AIG district meetings, or we're holding professional development for our teachers here at school. We model and share strategies and resources with our classroom teachers. This leads us into why we're having this meeting. It's to develop the differentiated education plans, otherwise known as the DEP. And as if you take a close look, these are our pillars in how we will be looking at our students. It is to make sure that we are reaching not only the academic and intellectual piece of our students, but also that social emotional piece. And we do this through our delivery, our advanced resource content, our instructional strategies, and our learning environment. At the end of the year, through using the DEP, students will receive what we call the performance area of performance review. And excuse me, we will send this home with your child's report card for the final one in June. But what I want you to make sure you're paying attention to is that it's not area of grade. It's do they do this consistency? It's talking about, do they think critically? Are they problem solving? Can they analyze, evaluate? How is their written communication? Writing is a huge formal way to communicate. Are they doing that? Are they actively participating and contributing into discussions? Or are they just sitting back and letting others do the talking? Creativity and innovation. Creativity is a huge piece with our gifted learners. And just that personal growth, their motivation. Are they motivated? Are they taking learning in their own hands and going above and beyond? Or are they just doing what they need to do just to be done? So when this comes home, it's not a grade. It is about consistency. And if they're doing it all the time, part of the time, or some students are just so thrilled with the unit of study that they go above and beyond and they do research and look into things outside of our classroom. And as I mentioned, part of our DEP is about the learning environment, and Ms. Landers will be talking about our learning environment and the other aspects.
Thank you, Ms. McMurray. We are going to talk briefly about our learning environment that the students are engaged in at Ballantyne. And one of the ways that we are supporting our students is cluster grouping with the teacher with AIG experience. So that is Ms. McMurray and myself. We are grouping within the cluster homogenously. So we are, any students that are identified, they are grouped together. And that is what we call flexible grouping. And again, we are with the AIG licensed teachers. So they are experiencing more of those advanced learning strategies that we are building capacity within among the students, so that they are thinking deeper and more critically about a variety of different concepts. So the differentiated instruction and delivery. So it's a mixture of both the co-taught instruction with the classroom teacher and the AIG teacher. It's also differentiated instruction within their classrooms. And then it's also small group instruction with the AIG teacher. So we do a mixture of all of these areas of differentiated instruction throughout their school days. So gifted education is a shared responsibility between the classroom teachers and the AIG teachers. Like Ms. McMurray mentioned earlier, we are collaborating with the classroom teachers. So even when they are not with us in the AIG classroom per se, they are still getting the advanced strategies and critical thinking within their classrooms, in their classroom small groups and things like that with their teachers. So one thing that research has said is that the pull-out model for being pulled out once a week for 40 minutes is not going to grow our students and meet those needs that each of our students has. So what gifted and advanced learning is in Ballantyne Elementary and or in CMS is we're providing that consistent, challenging, and enriching learning experiences for our students, so that they are exposed to these higher level thinking activities in math and in reading. So it's more consistent, which is going to help the students grow tremendously, rather than being just met with an AIG teacher for 40 minutes a week. Whoops.
So social emotional learning, as I mentioned before, it's very important for our gifted students, because it helps them build that resilience in order to cope with stress, setbacks, and frustration when they meet something they are not able to produce a product or an answer for within their 1 second of time that they normally are able to do. So all CMS schools utilize Caring Schools curriculum. And here at Ballantyne, we also utilize the Leader in Me to develop our leaders and to take leadership in their learning and within the classroom. And AIG department has also given us resources on how to support that through the Affective Jacob's Ladders and ideas from the book, I'm Not Just Gifted. So the Advanced Studies Department does provide us with that social emotional resource. The advanced content, we're going to take a look at some of the ones that we use here to support our AIG students. So we know that gifted and high achieving students, they are able to think with complexity. They can think abstractly and logically. William and Mary, as long as the Vanderbilt units, develop the literary analysis, which strengthens their reasoning and allows students to make the connections among concepts and among what they're doing in the classroom and among daily life activities. We also know that gifted and advanced students have high vocabulary. So Jacob's Ladders, Caesar's English, Rock and Roots, they also support that development of vocabulary. And again, words are very important. And through these uses of resources, we develop and nurture those vocabulary words. For math, thank you, we have a plethora of different resources. Hands-on equations. Hands-on equations take this abstract idea of algebraic thinking and actually gives us something concrete to hold and to work with to deepen that understanding. Detective math, one of my favorites, and I do use this. It is definitely, it's for building reading skills and problem solving. Are they picking up on those little details? Are they finding those critical pieces that are needed to get to the answer? And not only is this a math idea, but is to deepen their critical thinking in reading, because they have to read scenarios in order to get the answer and also cite evidence, which is a huge standard among our 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders. Also, we have Breakout EDU. Some of you may have heard of this, and I know that our technology teacher, Mrs. Street, and our science teacher, Ms. Cornell, have taken the classes on Breakout EDU, and we also utilize this resource in our advanced math. And sometimes it's not the math that is the problem. It is how do you put your answers that you were able to get quickly into the right answer form to get the correct code to unlock the page or unlock the box.
So some of our advanced instruction strategies that we use are seminar. Sorry for our bell. Seminar, we do tiered tasks, we do choice boards, depth and complexity frames, and project and problem-based learning. If you look on the first picture right here that has all these symbols, these are all our depth and complexity icons that we utilize. So what the students are doing is it's a different way of thinking. So for example, the language of the discipline. Why are they using certain words in a text to convey the message in what they are doing? And then right underneath that, in this graphic here that has the 4 different boxes, this is what the format looks like when we're using those depth and complexity icons just for the students to answer. So they call it a frame. So it looks like a picture frame and it's all with the text around it. Right down here at the bottom is an example of what the structure for the seminar looks like. The seminar is a common text or a common math problem or scientific concept or whatever we're focusing on. And the students have academic discourse about that text that we are focusing on to get a different idea of multiple perspectives, different ways of analyzing the text, so on and so forth. The top right-hand picture is one of our project-based learning activities that the students are building a mini golf course based on elements of math. So they have to solve different math problems, look at different angles. How will the ball move if you have it on a slope versus just flat, things like that. So that's one example. And then if you look at some of these other pictures, here are some other things that we have done. In fourth grade last year, up at the top left-hand corner, this is like the Jacob's ladder that Ms. McMurray was mentioning a few moments ago. So the students are going through different thinking processes, starting at the bottom, and then it gets more abstract as they climb up the ladder. And then this is the students explaining their thinking about what they were looking at for a text that we were doing. In the middle, in fourth grade, I also did a maze where the students had to create a maze using different geometrical elements. So they had to include symmetry, they had to include right angles, acute angles, obtuse angles, things like that to create a maze. And this is actually an example of one that is in real life. So we explored the different mazes that people have done on farms, on different botanical gardens, things like that. And then we use balance benders as well. So just some different ways of thinking. And then right now, my students have just been working on pattern blocks and how each of the different pattern blocks are making up one whole. So if you have the different parts, how can you make a ship's value between 20 and 22 using these different pieces? Some other things that we utilize a lot is the Hilda Taba. And Hilda Taba is essentially taking a concept and creating generalizations about that concept. So one thing that we focused on this first quarter was coming up with adversity and how are the different generalizations about adversity. And the students came up with different examples and things like that to develop their generalizations.
So we all know students love the extracurricular activities. And again, these activities can be inside or outside of school depending on their likes and interests. So outside of school, you could think about things. Are they interested in coding? Are they interested in theater? Are they interested in cooking? And there's lots of programs out there that you can engage your child in depending on likes. But here at Ballantyne Elementary, we do have a couple enrichment opportunities provided within the school. We have Reading Rumble. We have Math Olympiad, then that's for fourth and fifth grade onlys. And we have Mathapalooza, which is for third grade only. And then we have, it's called Spectrum of the Arts. And this program looks at a lot of different aspects in students, and it's a summer program. It's about a week long, and opportunities for that will arise in January. And these opportunities are teacher nominated. Just as Reading Rumble and Math Olympiad, Mathapalooza, they are teacher nominated and looked at within different data points, teacher recommendation, engagement, motivation, excitement, enthusiasm for that topic of math or reading. So we do offer a few inclusive enrichment opportunities for all. Other ones that I know we have at Ballantyne, again, not through the AIG department, but we have chess club. That's great. That's great growth. And that's a wonderful interest for any student. I believe there's a basketball club, and I know there's soccer right now. So the enrichment opportunities are present. So just be aware that these programs do exist, and reach out to I believe it's Mrs. Beecher who would have the list of those opportunities. And some have already started versus others, so I don't know when the joining or being able to sign up are. But nurturing not only the academic piece, but that talent piece, that interest piece will definitely benefit any child.
Ms. Patel has also linked the clubs that are available right now in the Parent Square messages that she sends out weekly. So make sure that you are reading through those, because that will give you the timeline in terms of signing up and all of that, so you don't miss out on any opportunities that your students might be interested in. Ms. McMurray and I greatly appreciate your partnership with navigating this journey with your student and everything that they are going to be accomplishing this year and throughout the rest of their life. If you guys don't mind completing the attendance form, Ms. McMurray has linked it in the chat for us. Ms. McMurray, are you putting it in there again?
I just did in case people came in after. Yep.
Fantastic. And on the attendance form, if you guys have any questions or things that you would like some more information about, feel free to add that in the attendance form, and Ms. McMurray or myself will get in contact with you regarding anything that you have questions about. Ms. McMurray, is there anything else that you would like to add? Oh, we will post this recording on Parent Square as well. So if you want to go back and look at anything that we mentioned to refresh anything, or if you needed to share that with somebody else in your family that wasn't able to make it today, you are welcome to do that.
Yep, and we'll take, like, are there any questions that would be for the good of the group on anything that we need clarifying or more understanding about? We'll be happy to take some right now. We got about 10 minutes before our free version of Zoom will log us out.
Yes. You can put it in the chat or you can unmute.
Thank you. You've been most informative.
Absolutely. We are here to help. Please do not hesitate to reach out if anything comes up throughout the rest of the year too. We are always a message or an email away.
And we appreciate all of you and all of your support and time, because it is a team. We are a team. So we do appreciate you working with us. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate you all.
Yes. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you.
Of course. All right. Looks like we don't have any more questions.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a great day, everyone.
And we will monitor the form in case you do have questions that you just wanted to put in there. We will definitely be monitoring the attendance form. So thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, you too.